Good day, fish tankers. When I got my first aquarium, it was a 10-gallon tank, 1.5-foot tank. I set everything up, and my old man, when I thought he was going to do something else when we were in town, quickly ducked into a pet shop and he surprised me with some fish. And those first fish I'll never forget. There were 4 neon tetras, there were 4 zebra danios, there were 2 harlequin rasboras, and there was a single peppered cat, or like we call them peppered corydoras today, Corydoras palliatus. I think the scientific name changed a little bit, but I'm going to do this video about peppered corydoras because my friend there in the comments in the previous video, Tertius van der Berg, he asked me to do a video about pepper cories, and I thought I'd oblige him, so thank you for the suggestion, Tertius. So let's talk about peppered corydoras. We all like corydoras. They have these chunky little peaceful shoaling catfish that basically swims around the bottom of an aquarium. They really have good, have lots of personality and mannerisms, and they are fairly easy to keep if you just stick to a few rules. And one of the oldest in the hobby, along with the bronze corydoras, is the peppered corydoras. And there in my very first fish tank, when I was about 8 or 10 years old, not sure how old I was, it was a very long time ago, I obviously made one mistake because there was just a single peppered corydoras. And you know, I thought that's just a scavenger, and well, my dad thought when he bought them, and I thought so too for a long time. It's just a scavenger that'll eat all the leftover bits on it, goes to the bottom, like catfish I want to do. But that's obviously not the right way. Now, peppered corydoras come from South America. They come from the south of Brazil, also Uruguay, Paraguay, and all the way down South America to even reaching Argentina. So one thing about peppered corydoras, they can take a little bit lower temperatures than other tropical aquarium fish. So they'll be fine at a lower temperature of 22 degrees Celsius all the way up to 27 degrees Celsius, and your normal tropical range is fine, but they can go a bit lower. They can go to 22 degrees Celsius and even as low as 20 degrees Celsius. So I won't go below 20 degrees Celsius, but they can even handle that. So they're used to a little bit of cooler water. Now, so that is one thing, but do beware, because in a lot of YouTube videos or on the web and articles you'll read that they are cooler water or cold water fish. You can keep them without a heater, but remember, those articles are written for European or American fish keepers who often have centrally heated homes. So their temperature in an unheated home is rarely, it will never go below 20 degrees Celsius in the water. It'll stay at around 21, 22 degrees, which is then perfectly fine without a heater. But us here in South Africa, not few of us actually have centrally heated homes. And in the winter months, you know, if there's no heating in your aquarium, it's going to drop below 20. So do have a heater, but no, they can go a bit colder and you save a bit on heating costs. Then the other thing that I've alluded to, they do not do well as single fish. They need to be in groups. So no less than 4 individuals, 6 is better, 8 is even better. The more the merrier. They like being in groups, and then they're less timid, they show themselves, and they are fun to watch because they exhibit that shoaling behavior. That's the first thing. Water, they're not so fussy. They can do normal parameters from pH 6 to 7.5, even touching towards 8. So not fussy with water parameters, and just your normal degrees of hardness, anywhere from 6 to 12 should be fine. But like most corydoras, they do not like salt. So be aware when you're doing salt treatment for some diseases in the aquarium. They don't like it. So best maybe just take your corydoras out if you're going to treat the aquarium with salt for some reason. They don't do well with salt. That will kill them. They don't like that. Then, of course, how big do they get? Peppered corydoras is sort of medium size. They get up to 3 inches, which is about 7 centimeters. So they become a decent sized chunky cory at their biggest. So they're not for tiny nano tanks. You've got to, I would say, put them in at least a 2-foot tank, a 15-gallon tank long term. A little bit bigger would even be better. But a 2-foot 15-gallon tank, that I would say is about the minimum size long term. Don't put them in their 5-gallon, 7-gallon tanks. Even 10 gallons is a bit too small for them. given that you need a group. If you're going to have a small tank, so there are other cories like pygmy cories or even maybe panda cories that could work. So that I would say is a minimum tank space. And then the substrate. They have tiny little barbels and they like to sort of dig through the substrate for morsels of food. So you don't want something that's sharp and edgy that's going to wear down their barbels and cause a secondary bacterial infection. There's a lot of to and fro and controversy about that. Some point to rivers and say, look, here's gravel on the rivers and so on. But what I would suggest, if there are patches of gravel or rockery in your tank, that is okay. But there need to be patches of sand as well. Something like pool filter sand is a cheap option. It works very well. Sand or fine gravel that doesn't have sharp edges. I would stay away from black blasting sand. I like pool filter sand or just very fine gravel or sand like this. It's got rounded edges that they can dig around in. That works very, very well for them too. So keep them in groups. Look at the substrate. Have a sandy or small gravel substrate with rounded edges, not sharp edges. And then the other thing with Corydoras, that mistake that I also made in my very first tank, don't think because the scavengers will eat whatever is left, they're just bottom feeders. So if you have a community tank and you put flakes or pellets on top of the water, by the time a few bits and bobs come down, the other fish have already eaten it and the Corydoras won't get enough. You need to feed them sinking food. So what I would suggest in the community setup, feed your other fish first with pellets or flakes or whatever you feed them with, and then drop in some sinking tablets for the Corydoras. There are many different kinds. I like Denelei cookies. That I think is a very good quality food. But then Tetra also makes a good quality sinking tablet if you want them. They're slightly cheaper. Or any pelleted food that will sink to the bottom, they will like. So feed the community fish on top and then drop, after you've done, as soon as you've done that, and drop in a few sinking tablets in different spots in the tank, and the Corydoras will find them, and that way they won't starve and remain healthy. They are egg layers. They deposit small clutches of eggs on the glass, on the hardscape. You can always harvest those eggs if it's on the glass with a credit card, or just gently with a razor. Just drop them in a little container below and you can hatch them out in a separate tank. The fry, well, they'll take most proprietary fry food, very fine food, infusoria in the beginning, then you can move them on to brine shrimp, and then you can just go with a normal commercial food. I'm not an expert breeder, but that's more or less a breed like any other Corydoras did. Well, that is it for the peppered Corydoras. They do have an albino form as well. Usually the albino cory cats that you see are albino versions of a bronze cory, but now and then you see an albino peppered cat as well. The telltale sign is the higher dorsal fins. They're slightly more elongated, not as chunky as the bronzies. And in some albino versions, you can even still see those peppered markings in terms of slightly lighter and darker spots in the pinkish white that the albino has. So there is that too. Well, if you've watched all the way to here, please consider pressing that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate it. It helps YouTube a lot. And please, in the comment sections below, tell me, give me ideas if there's any other videos or subjects that you would like to chat about, then let me know in the comments below. Well, that's it from me, guys. Until I see you again, remember to take good care of our domestic denizens of the deep.